close your eyes for a moment. Imagine standing on a cliff overlooking the vast Atlantic Ocean, the wind carrying the scent of salt and seaweed. You watch waves roll in, one after another, endless and tireless. You notice the tide moving, slowly rising, then falling again, like the breathing of the earth itself. The ocean has always been humanity's mirror. It reflects our curiosity, our fears, our hopes, and our ambitions. For millennia, humans have looked to the water for guidance. Navigators following the stars and currents, fishermen reading the tides, poets capturing the rhythm of the waves. The ocean is alive with movement, and its movements are not random. They follow patterns. Patterns that have shaped life on this planet in ways we are only beginning to fully understand. Today, we explore these patterns, the tides and the ocean currents. Tides, the daily rise and fall, connect us to the moon and sun, linking celestial mechanics with the lives of creatures from the smallest plankton to the largest whales. Currents, the great rivers of the sea, carry heat, nutrients, and energy across the globe, regulating climate, sustaining ecosystems, and connecting continents. But beyond the science, these waters tell a story of connection. They remind us that we are part of something far greater than ourselves. Every wave, every current, every tide is a thread in the fabric of life. And as we face a changing climate, these threads are under threat. As Americans, we are intimately tied to the oceans, from the Atlantic and Pacific coasts to the Gulf of Mexico, from the Great Lakes to our rivers that feed into the sea. Our economy, our culture, even our history is interwoven with the pulse of the oceans. Today, I want us to journey together through the tides and currents, to understand their power, to feel their beauty, and to recognize our role as stewards of this vital world. Imagine standing on a quiet beach at dawn. The waves lap gently at your feet, pulling sand and shells in and out in a hypnotic rhythm. You feel it, the ocean breathing. This breath of the planet is not random. It follows a rhythm, a pattern, a pulse that has been beating long before humans walked the earth. These are the tides and ocean currents, the invisible threads that connect continents, climates, and life itself. Today, I want to take you on a journey beneath the waves, into the currents that shape our world, into the tides that have inspired poets, explorers, and scientists alike. Together, we will uncover how the ocean moves, why it matters, and what it tells us about ourselves and our future. Section 1. Understanding Tides. 10 minutes. Introduction to the chapter. Before we dive into the science, let's take a moment to think about rhythm. Rhythm is everywhere. Our hearts beat in time, music carries a pulse, and even the seasons follow a cadence. The ocean has its own rhythm, expressed in the rise and fall of tides. Tides are one of the oldest natural phenomena known to humanity. Ancient civilizations watched the water carefully, learning when to plant, when to fish, when to travel. They saw in the tide a story of connection between the earth, the moon, and the sun, a story as old as time itself. Understanding tides is not just about knowing the science, it is about tuning ourselves to the heartbeat of our planet. Content, as before, with human examples. Tides are the heartbeat of the ocean. Continue previous content about tides and life. Section 2. Ocean Currents, the Global Conveyor Belt. 10 minutes. Introduction to the chapter. Now imagine that rhythm on a much grander scale. If tides are the heartbeat of the ocean, then currents are its bloodstream, carrying energy, heat, and life around the planet. Ocean currents are the silent movers of our world, unseen by most of us, yet vital to every ecosystem, every coast, every weather pattern. These flows of water are shaped by the Earth itself, its rotation, its winds, its temperature differences, and they have been shaping the planet for millions of years. Understanding currents is like reading the hidden infrastructure of the Earth, the invisible highways that connect the poles to the tropics and continents to one another. It is awe-inspiring and humbling at the same time. Content, as before, the Gulf Stream, the California Current, the Kuroshio in the Pacific, they move water, nutrients, heat, and even life across thousands of miles. Section 3. Human Connection to the Oceans. 10 minutes. Introduction to the chapter. Humans have always had a complicated relationship with the ocean. We are drawn to it for survival, commerce, and adventure. But we are also challenged by it. The ocean has inspired mythologies, shaped economies, and sparked exploration. Our history cannot be separated from the tides and currents that surround us. By understanding the ocean, we understand ourselves. By tracing the routes of currents or observing tidal patterns, we see patterns in human behavior, resilience, and ingenuity. In this chapter, we will explore how humans are intertwined with the oceans and how the invisible forces of tides and currents have guided our civilization. Content, as before. Think about the history of the United States. Continue. Section 4. Climate Change and the Changing Oceans. 10 minutes. Introduction to the chapter. The ocean has always been a source of stability, a force we could rely on. But the stability of the oceans is changing. Climate change is altering the patterns we have depended upon for millennia. Tides, once predictable, now rise higher than expected. Currents, once steady, now fluctuate in dangerous ways. This is not just a scientific concern, it is a human concern. Storms become stronger, coastal cities face increased flooding, and the delicate balance of marine life is disrupted. By understanding these changes, we can better prepare, respond, and protect our world. Let us examine the ways in which climate change is reshaping the oceans that sustain us. Content, as before. Rising sea levels are altering tidal patterns. Warming waters are shifting currents. Section 5. Stories of Inspiration. Introduction to the chapter. Even in the face of challenge, the ocean inspires us. From scientists restoring tidal wetlands to sailors mastering the Gulf Stream, the human spirit finds ways to connect with the sea. Stories of hope, innovation, and perseverance abound where humans engage with the ocean thoughtfully. In this chapter, I want to share real stories that illustrate how understanding tides and currents allows us not just to survive, but to thrive. These stories show how humans and nature can work together, harmonizing with the rhythms and flows that have existed long before us. Content, as before. In the Pacific Northwest, a small community of scientists is working to restore tidal wetlands. Section 6. Call to Action. 5 minutes. Introduction to the chapter. All of what we have discussed, the science, the rhythms, the stories, leads to one undeniable truth. The ocean is our responsibility. We are part of a global system, and our actions have consequences. But responsibility is not just a burden, it is a privilege. We have the power to protect, restore, and honor the oceans that sustain life. Contents before, we must act individually, as communities, and as a nation to protect these waters. Closing. As we leave this room, I want you to feel the pulse of the ocean. Imagine the tides pulling at your toes. Imagine the currents carrying warmth from the tropics to the poles. Remember that each wave is part of a story millions of years in the making, a story of connection, resilience, and life itself. Let us honor that story. Let us be the guardians of these tides and currents, the stewards of a world where the ocean continues to breathe, to flow, and to inspire. As we come to the end of our journey through the tides and currents, let us pause to reflect. The ocean is more than a body of water. It is a living system, a network of rhythms and flows that has shaped life, climate, and human history. Every tide reminds us of the moon's influence and the celestial order. Every current reminds us of the interconnectedness of the planet, the way a change in the Pacific can ripple across the Atlantic, affecting climates, ecosystems, and human lives. We have seen how the ocean is intimately tied to our history, from the indigenous peoples who first navigated its waters to the explorers who charted its coasts. We have seen how it sustains life, provides food, regulates our climate, and inspires creativity and ingenuity. And we have seen how it is changing, under pressure from climate change, pollution, and human activity. But the story is not one of despair. It is a story of responsibility and hope. The tides and currents teach us patience, resilience, and the value of listening to the world around us. They remind us that we are stewards of a system far bigger than ourselves. And they call us to action, to honor the oceans, to protect their rhythms, and to ensure that future generations inherit a world where the water still moves, still breathes, still sings. So as you leave here today, feel the pulse of the ocean. Remember that we are connected to every wave, every tide, every current. Let this connection inspire your choices, your actions, and your vision for the future. The ocean has carried life for billions of years. Let us ensure that it continues to do so for billions more. Thank you.